Hello, I'm Simon the coach, and today I would like to talk to you about self-care versus self-sabotage. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is I find that a lot of people come to my coaching sessions and they're exhausted, they're stressed, they're overworked, they're sad, they're run down, you name it, they're feeling it. And I'm sure you've been there as well yourself. So what I do as a coach is I stay curious, dig a little deeper to what's going on with them, and I generally find that people are neglecting their self-care. And this is normally involving really simple things, such as not sleeping properly, not eating properly, complaining too much, not thinking positively. So what I get them to do is to write a list, which I think is really powerful, of all the activities that fall under caring for themselves and all the activities that actually are engaging in self-sabotage. Now, the reason I do this is having the self-sabotage as well. I think a lot of us, myself included, when we're stressed or run down, we realise that we're stressed and run down and we're not looking after our well-being, but we engage in the wrong activities, which eventually, over a long-term period, will make us feel worse. So an example, you're stressed, you've had a terrible day at work, and you've got loads more work to do tomorrow, the next day. So what you do is you drink a whole bottle of wine instead of one glass. You stay up till 2 a.m, zoning out, watching Netflix after Netflix after Netflix. But then the next day, you're even more exhausted and you're not able to cope with the day. And that would be self-sabotage. So we know we need to do something about our stress and being run down, but we're engaging in the wrong things. So by having this list of activities that actually engage in self-care, some examples might be doing a mindfulness exercise, meditation, taking a bath, reading a book, then we know what we can do when we begin to feel run down. And I often talk about the analogy which I love around self-care is you can't pour out from an empty cup. So if you think about that, if you have a cup that's completely empty, obviously you can't give water to anyone else. So your self-care and looking after yourself is like your water level. So when you engage in self-care rather than self-sabotage, you begin to fill up your cup. And a lot of people have problems with this idea because they think it's being selfish, or they feel guilty, or it's just too self-indulgent. But I would argue that's not the case at all. Another analogy that I think is useful around that is the oxygen mask on a plane, which I'm sure you've heard of before. So the instructions, the official instructions are you have to put on your own oxygen mask before helping other people, which might sound that you're being selfish, but you're not at all. Because if you think about it, if that person is suffering and can't breathe and you yourself can't breathe, then you're not helping either of you. Whereas if you look after yourself and get yourself in a good place, you are best service to others. And that's the same with self-care when you imagine your cup. The idea is it's not selfish, you're looking after yourself so that you can best look after other people. That means you can be a better colleague at work because you're energized and you can be present and focus on them. You can be a better friend, be a better family member. So self-care is not self-indulgent. It's vital for you and your well-being. And I also want to say as well that self-care, I don't think should be a luxury. It's not something that only the rich and the time rich get to do. It's something that is vital for maintaining positive mental health. So please take this idea on board, write down your list of self-care activities and what's self-sabotage, but please note that these activities are different for everyone. There's no right or wrong, it's noticing what works for you. But tell me, what does work for you? Let me know and comment on this video. Thank you for listening.